Hey guys, it's Byzantium, and welcome back to EU4. Today we will be starting a new series with Florence. Florence is a three-province minor here in central Italy, and the series is to get the Italian ambition achievement for forming Italy, which we need a lot of land up here in northern Italy to do. So let's hop into it. We'll be doing Iron Man mode. So, like I said, the main goal is to eventually form Italy, but before that, we will most likely form Tuscany on the way. So, loading in here, as you can see, a lot of what we are in currently we are in the HRE, which is a big help because if you play as nations such as Venice, say here in Italy, it's really hard to start expanding into Italy as you have to fight the emperor if they accept the call to arms that you get from being a non-HRE nation and attacking an HRE nation. But we are in the empire, so that really helps us that we don't have to face that. So if you look here, form Italian nation, the goal for this series, we are going to need Genoa, Milan, Modena, Verona, Mantua. We already have Firenze, but we also need Siena, Roma, and Ancona. So if you see, that's most of this area. Roma will probably be the last one we take because if you don't know, whenever you take Rome in this game, there's always an event that says either give it back to the Papal State or create the Papal State if the Papal State doesn't exist. And if you decline to do that, which we would because we need Rome to form Italy, it has a massive opinion modifier that just wrecks your opinions with all Catholic nations. So, looking at missions here, the first two missions are improve our prestige and improve our relations with Siena. Siena is one of the possible first targets we could go after. The possible first targets here. We have a few one province minors around us. Sadly, we can't go after Urbino. They're a vassal of the Papal State unless we wanted to go after the Papal State. But some of the first options we have are Siena down here to the south. We have Lucca up to the north. We have Ferrara, and we have possibly Genoa. So looking at rivals here, you can select our rivals. People who have rivaled us are Ferrara, Genoa, and the Papal State. So looking here, the Papal State hates us, so we might as well rival. We might as well just rival the three people that already rivaled us, as they already hate us. So there's no real opinion change. And then looking at possible allies, we only have two diplomats to start, but looking at possible allies here, we would like to get a great power ally. The two closest that would definitely help are Austria and France. Being a member of the Empire, I'm looking at Austria first, although France would also be obviously amazing to have as an ally. It really depends on what we think might be our expansion plans in the greater future and what might happen between the rivalry of France and Austria, who might be the stronger nation in the distant future. So to start off, I like to have all these menus open. But we'll look at who is closer to getting the line. So Austria is negative 35. France is only negative 25. So I think we'll send a diplomat to try and get an alliance with France. Another good ally would be Aragon if we could, because they have a lot of influence and kind of power here in this area of the Mediterranean, as they have a personal union over Naples, and they obviously control Sicily, Sardinia, the Balearic Islands, and actually Aragon are all in this area that we are going to be needing help. So looking at how close they are to allies, they are 37 off. So we can improve relations. And let's look at getting advisors here. One good thing we have is that we have a very good ruler to start off with. Sadly, he's 55, but we are a republic. So one good thing about that is that we can have a leader elected and then keep re-electing them for a few cycles to get them as really good kind of pips here. So then one the only problem with that is that each time we re-elect our leader, it lowers our Republican tradition, which slightly changes some of the modifiers in our country. It's good to have your Republican tradition as high as you can. So we'll see how that goes when election time comes. But the next election is not until November 1448. So the elections are every 4 years. So we have 4 years. Looking at advisors here, we do have a few ducats, so we can get advisors, preferably level 1, not level 2 or 3, which is all that is available for admins. So, but we will get this Diplo advisor, and we will get this military advisor as well. And since we are not currently at war, we can lower army maintenance a bit and mothball our forts. Okay, looking at missions, we now have the rival of our rival mission, which is the mission to get Provence's opinion of us to at least 100. Probably will not do that. I think the mission we're going to take off the bat will be to. I think relations with Siena. And then looking at possible expansions right off the bat, I'm thinking about possibly moving up north into Lucca and Ferrara here. So, looking at our ships, we have one light ship and a fleet of 10 here. Well, we can mothball the fleet since we're not doing anything with it now. I guess this one ship can protect trade for what it's worth here in Genoa. And speaking of trade, let's look at that. We do have an inland center of trade that will help. The only trade node that we're in currently is Genoa. Where are our merchants? Our merchants are in Ragusa and Sevilla. Why are we? Well, I guess we're steering trade here. Probably not much. We are steering a bit from Sevilla as well. Although we don't have much trade power here in the Mediterranean. We do have 11% trade power in Genoa, and we earn 3 ducats. That's where a large source of income is. Genoa is a very rich node, so it would be nice to get a lot of trade power here to help our economy. We have national decisions available. Okay, so do we want to... This is kind of looking at in the future. Where are we going to go, Catholic or Protestant? Honestly, I don't know yet. I think we're just going to disable this decision for now, and we might come back to it later if we decide to go Protestant. Have a free advisor, so I think it's going to be fine if we don't take any of these. How much do we have currently? We have 2.84. I guess we could if we wanted to. Are there any good ones for 2? Average. I don't think we're going to take a Diplo advisor currently. So there's the beginning sorted out. So now we can unpause here. Speed 2. And see where it goes. So, again, France, we need about 19 more reasons. Aragon, we need 31 more reasons. So, thinking about possible expansion routes here, one of the things we can do is after we get this alliance. Well, that's a problem. France is allied to Genoa, our rival. So that makes it really hard for us to get this alliance. So I don't think we're going to be able to get it. Let's take that diplomat out of there. How close is Austria? Are they still somewhat willing? Sadly, there's that -20 too many diplomatic relations modifier. Let's look at who might want to ally us. Hungary would be a good alliance, although they very well may get PU'd by Austria pretty soon. Milan might be a good alliance, as they are a good regional kind of power. Eventually, we're going to have to betray them, but to start off, just getting a bit of expansion kind of up here and then down into more central against more central Italy against the Papal State, they might be a good ally off the bat. So I think we should get that alliance with Milan, and if we can, still with Hungary. Good. And then we should also possibly start looking at routes of early expansion. So, again, I think what we should do early on is expand up here into Lucca and Ferrara, and then possibly into Romagna and Urbino with the Papal State. And then if we can, if we get up here against Venice, they'd be a nice target being outside of the Empire. So, but I think first we will improve relations with Siena to try and get that mission done, which gives us +1 diplomatic relations for 10 years. So that'll be good. And since not much is happening right now, we can probably put it up to speed 3. So let's see how close we are to getting that alliance with Aragon. Currently, they are at -19 reasons for an alliance. Sadly, one of the things we can't do as a republic is get a royal marriage. That would be really helpful, as it's a good, just instant 25 relations boost. And the Kingdom of Italy and the Empire event just happened. So, this event is that if the area of Italy, I think the area is, if we look at the imperial map mode, the empire needs to take these 3 provinces, Romagna, Urbino, and then the rest of the Papal State into the empire by 1490, or all of the area in the Kingdom of Italy will get the choice to leave the empire. So that is something that could affect us. Not as much, since we are in the empire, so it wouldn't matter as much. But say if we take Lucca, when we take Lucca, eventually, the if it's still in the empire and we don't yet have a core on it, Austria, being the emperor, can demand that we return it as unlawful territory, and if we decline, we get a -25 relations detriment, I guess, to everyone in the empire. So that isn't great. We'll decline that. Let's Can either get trade efficiency +15% and 50 Diplo power, or 76 ducats. I think we'll take the efficiency and Diplo power. So looking at over here with Aragon, we are now only 11 reasons negative for an alliance. So we're slowly working our way up. We also have the enemy of enemy modifier, so we should be able to get an alliance within a couple years here with Aragon, and then we are only 24 relations away from getting that mission with Siena, and then we will start fabricating a claim on Lucca to see how soon we can declare war. Who are your allies? They're allied with Mantua and Savoy, so not overly powerful, especially if we have alliances with. Okay, my timer is going off, so this will be the end of episode 1 of the U4 campaign with Florence. Currently, we are 7 relations or 7 reasons away from getting an alliance with Aragon, so that will really help us here. And then we already have alliances with Milan and Hungary. In the next episode, we'll be looking to fabricate claims on possibly Lucca and Ferrara here and look at some conquest. So, this has been Byzantium Plays U4 Florence, episode 1, and I will see you guys in the next video.